SVG is back in New York City for the 2024 SVG Sports Cloud Production Forum. Christian Hernandez here with Sports Video Group. Very pleased to be joined by Anthony Renda with the PGA Tour. Anthony, how's your day so far?
Been great so far. My first SVG conference, enjoying it so far.
Well, we're glad you can make it. I know it's a busy time. Right now, as we speak, it's Thursday, so there is another golf tournament going on. You're about to go on stage, talk about Every Shot Live. And the workflows that go into that and the production that you and your colleagues and partners are driving. So obviously the reason why you're here is because it uses a lot of cloud-based workflows. Talk about how the cloud is leveraged in that production and how it's made a big change and shift into how that platform is done.
Sure. So we started Every Shot Live back in 2020. The goal was to provide the fans a way to watch every golfer on the course. In a golf tournament, there's 144 players out there. With the amount of TV coverage, a lot of those players are never seen in the broadcast. So our goal was how do we get those players in front of the fans? So year one was 2020, and second year in 2021, we actually produced it on-prem. We used Hawkeye Innovations. We used their smart viewer system, which they use for rules review. Like that was our live switcher. They brought all that equipment to site, and we had 75 servers that we had to rack up and power. But in those first 2 years, we did use the AWS cloud to distribute those streams. So the issue we tackled those years were how do we distribute 48 programs a day from the golf course. So we leveraged elemental encoders to stream into the cloud. From there, we delivered to 9 or 10 different international partners that way. Year three, we wanted to not bring 70 servers to the TV compound. We wanted to put the production into the cloud. So we worked with AWS, Luke Potter and Andrew Reich and the whole team at AWS ProServe to bring TrackMan and Hawkeye into AWS. So the whole production, soup to nuts, is done in the cloud from that point. Cameras get encoded on site, streamed into AWS, and from there, production and distribution and archiving is done all in the cloud.
So you mentioned a lot with the Hawkeye kind of system already being in the cloud, but as the infrastructure changes and that sort of thing, how can, that efficiency help what you guys are doing for this platform?
Yeah, so the current infrastructure with Every Shot Live is Hawkeye's infrastructure runs on an EC2 instance. So the server on the ground is now an EC2 in the cloud. So Hawkeye is they're in the process of kind of refactoring their software, so it's more cloud native. So the deployment of it won't be 70 EC2s. It would be kind of cloud native workloads that can be launched and spun up and turned off as needed. Right now we spend a lot of time configuring and launching EC2 instances just to run software on it in a more traditional way. So we're hoping if it's not next year, the year after, it's more of the production process is for Hawkeye is kind of a cloud native. Cameras would show up, we would spin up one of their cloud native production services, and then we would move on from that. So we'd be hoping to make it a little bit less, I guess what the word I'm looking for is less infrastructure in the cloud is probably the better way of doing it, yeah.
Right now, when you zoom out at the industry as a whole, especially this sector of the industry when it comes to cloud, remote-based work, what have you, it's always changing, right? It's always adapting. So whether it's you at the PGA Tour or the vendors that you're working with, adapting to new trends like AI or machine learning, how will that ultimately influence how this Every Shot Live platform is done in the future?
So Every Shot Live is produced without any commentary. So it's not sound only. So one of our goals is to provide, leverage generative AI and produce automated commentary. Right. We have all the ShotLink data. We have with a machine with a kind of optical awareness of what's going on. Our goal would be to provide a commentary track, for all 48 of those programs. It's not really feasible to bring in an announcer for 24 or 48 announcers for 4 days. So our long-term goal is with working with AWS is how do we provide the home viewer the option to hear commentary or not? So right now they don't have that option. So that would be one thing we want to do. And then with other machine learning is, can we automate some of the production? Can we automate camera cutting? We already automate the graphics because it's kind of data driven from ShotLink, but the actual production itself. Balls hit, switch from different camera angles. How do we kind of scale down the manpower that's used to produce it right now?
So augmenting the viewing experience for the fan, but also streamlining operations for you guys.
The same way the cloud streamlined the setup and kind of of all the infrastructure, how do we also streamline the production of it?
Well, Anthony, really appreciate you taking the time. I know you got to go run and do the panel real quick, but Anthony, it was a pleasure to meet you. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Anthony Renda here at the 2024 SVG Sports Cloud Production Forum. For more interviews like this one, and Anthony in New York City, head over to our website at sportsvideo.org.